My Hero Academia, Season 7, Episode 20, A Girl's Ego. It delivered yet another powerful, emotional message that I believe all should be heard and has continued this anime's upward rising trajectory. Let's talk about it. All right, guys, we're here back with Geek Variants, cover all things Marvel, DC, Lord of the Rings, anime, gaming, Star Wars, and more. This time, My Hero Academia, let's jump straight into it. Look, this episode focused entirely upon the girls of Class 1A and Himiko Toga, the resident bad clone herself for the League of Villains. And look, this episode covered a lot of characters that normally, truth be told, I'm not necessarily the biggest fans of. I don't think some of these characters were truly fleshed out all that well, in my opinion. But again, a lot of people are huge fans of them, and I'm all the happier for those who truly believe in them. And look, I've never really been Team Uravity, but as you can tell by my name, looks like some things have changed. This episode was entirely something that went right down the rabbit hole that Shonen Comics has, or Jump Comics, if you want to look at it that way, has always been about the power of friendship or the power of family. And I know there's a whole running joke about the show Naruto about how the Tak no Jutsu is truly the most powerful jutsu used in Naruto, as the character Naruto would be able to win people over with the way he talked to them and spoke to them and reached them directly in their hearts, because there were villains who were flat out just more powerful than him, or just had a better outlook on what was going on and a better understanding of things, where Naruto would just straight up be able to talk them down, and all of a sudden things would be peachy and keen and they'd be best friends. And now all of a sudden their opinion on, whatever evil deeds they were doing is all of a sudden viewed as a little bit more wrong and just stops them from doing what they wanted to do. This episode was Uravity's turn to use the absolute Tak no Jutsu to ensure that, you know, everything involving Toga would be stopped. Toga has been through it. The girl has been through absolute hell and back in this anime. When she was a little kid, she was basically an outcast of society. She had parents, sure, but her parents never understood her. Her parents never trusted her. Her parents called her a monster on a weekly basis. They continued to condemn her, put her down, make her feel isolated, make her feel unloved, make her feel like she just flat out didn't belong. And sure, Toga's actions as a child weren't correct. She was out there biting her friends. She was out there stabbing birds. She was out there doing a whole bunch of heinous things to ensure that she could have her favorite thing in the whole wide world: blood. And she was about, tasting blood, looking at other people's blood, being a part of any situation that involved it. Imagine if she born to like a vampire coven, how beloved she would have been and how much different her life would have turned out. Probably not for the better because vampires, but again, who can say? At this moment in time, Toga has been going through life trying to find somewhere to belong, someplace where she can mentally just be herself, where she can feel loved and safe and connected with people on an emotional level. Because as her childhood clearly was, she ain't got none of that. People didn't love her. People didn't care about her. They never went to get help for her sake. They got help for their sake because they felt society would judge them, that people wouldn't understand what was going on in their life, that ultimately things wouldn't be put in a positive direction that could push her to be a better individual. Instead, they're just like, here's some forced therapy. We're going to force this on you. It'll fix you. And the only thing that needed to be fixed was they needed to accept her and hug her and hold her and tell her that there's better ways of going about what was going on. But no one ever took the time to do that. Hence, Kimiko Toga falling down this complete rabbit hole where now she got accepted into the League of Villains, the only place with the most dastardly villains in the entire world of My Hero could truly accept her. And ultimately, she found two people she deeply, deeply resonated with in both Dobby and Twice, or Jin for his real name. And she really connected with Dobby in the sense that they both had exceptionally tough upbringings. They never fully leveled on the details or the specifics of what's going on, but they both got the same vibe that they've been through some stuff and that they both really needed this step up in the League of Villains to assert whatever plans they had of reenactment of vengeance, that everyone could rely upon each other to go ahead and go out and go do it. And Dobby always was a straight shooter with her and be like, look, you're all talk right now. You need to do XYZ thing. Or he'd be like, hey, why don't you go do XYZ thing? And then she would go off and do it. And that was just how their friendship worked. They were able to talk with one another and be real with one another. And she never really had that. She just wanted a friend to be able to talk to or to reason with or be around and to be able to smile and be told she was pretty with. That never happened until Jin showed up. When she met Jin, he was like, "You're really pretty. I really believe in you. I think you can do great things." They were all evil actions, but he was still supportive in some sense. But wrong actions, still not necessarily right. But at the same token, she found acceptance. She found a home. She found people that cared about her, and ultimately she was just looking for that in everybody else. And now the fact that Dobby is basically on ice, for lack of better terms, and not trying to be funny. And then again, Jin is no longer with us because Hawks put a sword directly through his heart, and game, set, match on that one. So she is going out for vengeance in all uncertain terms because she lost the two people she cares most about in this world. Uravity, throughout this entire episode, and with the help of Froppy and other girls from Class 1A, and then Conway Woods just hanging out in the background, was able to go ahead and assert that, hey, I care about you. I see you. I've seen you smile. I've seen you cry. I've seen who you truly are on the inside. I can be your friend. I can accept you. I can forgive you. I can offer you the thing that you're looking for. And Uravity was able to, after a very, very long and begrudging battle, where eventually Himiko Toga did, in fact, stab Uravity in the stomach, which is a very, very serious area, probably closer to some very serious vital organs, caused some serious damage to her. But Uravity was still able to pull off one of the greatest things I've seen in this show. She's able to use her floating quirk on thousands. I'm not just, speculating here just for numbers, but literally on thousands of clones of Twice that Toga created to ensure that they wouldn't be able to push forward on the city and attack any individuals who were left behind, or go after Hawks, or go after Endeavor and his family, who were down and out for lack of any help whatsoever. They were just left and stranded. So at this moment in time, she just saved significant members of the hero community, and she was able to stop Toga from going even further with her heinous actions and causing all these problems. Eventually, they were able to talk, have a heart to heart, and the big W happened where Toga says, I accept you. You accept me. I can see that. And she ultimately embraces her in a hug as they're basically both floating downward, even though she still has a knife basically right here by, Uravity's head, which still would make any individual uncomfortable. But Uravity seems completely unbothered by it. They embrace each other as friends. And Toga is seen in a new light as she's like, I love Deku. I love you. We can work together to kind of create a better future together, which is all she's ever looking for. She's looking for someone to love her, accept her, hold her hand, and just be there with her. And despite the darkness that she had within herself, which is a huge W for this anime, it continues to show and challenge a lot of the deep seated emotional things involving the world going on at any point in time or any part of society in general, which a lot of people said and wrote this anime off as something for kids only. Some of these arcs definitely ain't it. And everything that just happened here goes to show Uravity, huge W for you. Next week is going to be one of the sadder and darker episodes of My Hero Academia. Brace yourselves. Be sure to hit that lovely red subscribe button if you liked any part of the breakdown or any of the style of content we have here. We have Marketplace Simulator every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Tons of great animes, including Dan to Dan, Dragon Ball Daima, My Hero Academia, and then shows like Agatha All Along and Penguin on the channel. I've been Brett for Geek Variants. I'll see you in the next one.